Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Kansas Jayhawks Dynasty. Your Kansas Jayhawks are coming off of a bowl game loss. If you have not seen the last episode, make sure you check it out. It's the bowl game, Alamo Bowl, against number 21 ranked Oregon Ducks, and we did lose 52-38 in a shootout where we did not play so well late in this game, especially in the second half. But that is not our main concern here today. We're heading into the offseason as I show you the Heisman winner, Brent Stockstill from Middle Tennessee State. But I streamed this, and I don't think the quality was very good. I think the internet the internet was not good for my stream. But I did record it so I could give you guys a cut down video nonetheless. But we'll be going through the whole entire offseason here, just an edited version of it. As you see, we do have Alex Manning, a first-team All-American, but we're definitely progressing with the Kansas Jayhawks. But one thing I was thinking about is the new NCAA season is coming upon us very shortly, less than a month to go. So I was going to ask you guys, would you rather me continue this dynasty through this next year and just not worry about starting a new one, or would you rather me get updated rosters when the start of the new NCAA season comes out and start a new dynasty and start fresh with the new rosters? It's up to you guys. You guys have to let me know in the comment sections which one you would like me to do. I'll do what seems the most popular, and then I'll have my say at the end of what we do, and that will come even more impactful when we come to the end of this episode. You guys will definitely have to make a decision, but we're going through this. We're going through the award winners. Not a whole lot to see here. None of our players won. I was just going through, and if you guys have any of your favorite teams, favorite players on here, the usual, then go ahead and pause the video and check them out as we're still going in here. But I've progressed well with the Kansas Jayhawks. I believe our first year, were we 3-9, 4-8 maybe? Then we went 6-7, got blown out by Stanford in the bowl game. Then we went 7-6, lost to Oregon in the bowl game this year. And year 4, I'm hoping 8-9 wins could be on our way. But more importantly, I need a bowl win. That would be fantastic. As you see the bowl results, once again, you check your favorite team. You can see where they're at in the bowl results here. We obviously didn't fare too well, but neither did the Big 12, really. I talked about it on a little bit on the stream, and we did not do too good as a conference. You see there's West Virginia losing once. They were 0-1 there. We keep going down. Kansas State lost to Nebraska, who we played and lost to, 0-2. Then there we are, 0-3. So we keep going down the list here. I probably missed a couple. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I went by a little bit quickly, but we keep going down. And Texas won, so there's our one win as we keep going down here. Oklahoma lost by 3, and then you see the national championship game, Middle Tennessee State against Army. Both were undefeated heading in, but Middle Tennessee blew out Army in the bowl game. So that was probably not a fun bowl game whatsoever, and I'm glad, or a championship, I'm glad I didn't have to watch that on TV in real life. But you see, 3-9, 6-7, 7-6, but I do want a bowl game victory. As you see, the Big 12, Iowa State fires their offensive coordinator. That's pretty funny. And TCU, defensive coordinator retired. Everyone else had an extension. As we keep going on here. But here is the players leaving. This is the sad moment. First off, we have a guy that wants to transfer. He's homesick. A freshman corner who's a 71 overall, could progress pretty well if we went further into this dynasty. I would try to persuade him, but he is leaving no matter what. Keaton Perry is retiring. He is leaving. He's graduating. 79 overall. He is our backup QB. He played a couple of snaps this year, but Ryan Willis took control of that midway through the year. Dalen Charlotte and Steven Sims Jr. both graduating. That's a tough one. Those two are going to be a big loss, especially Dalen Charlie. He was very good for me all year long. No tight ends lost, but then we get to the offensive line. Left guard, we're losing an 86 and an 82 overall, both graduating, excuse me. And then the center position, you'll see we don't have anybody. Right guard, nobody. Then right tackle, Larry Hughes is graduating. I feel like I'm saying retiring, but that's because I've been playing a lot of franchise on Madden. It's been a lot of fun, but I'm back in the NCAA mode. I'm hopefully getting into it. Dorrance Armstrong Jr., he graduates. He really came on this last year, his senior year. He was fantastic for me. His first couple of years, I'm pretty sure he was really good in real life. I didn't watch too many Kansas games, but I'm pretty sure he was really good in real life. And then senior year, he finally came on for me. But then we lose 3 defensive tackles. They graduate in 85, 84, and a 77. So we're lacking depth at defensive tackle. Those are going to be tough to replace, but I do have a couple of guys that are ready to replace them, and we'll have to see how defensive line fares after losing all 4 starters. That's going to be tough to replace. Then our middle linebacker, Hudson Hall, who's very good for us. He graduates at an 83 overall. He's very good. He's a great tackler. I love sending him on blitz, but then so did Ogbebor. He is graduating. He's gone. And then this corner who I said was leaving, and he definitely did. But here we get to some of the players that are going to replace them. First, I'll show you the people we already have committed. Tyrell Rose, a tight end. Danny Peoples, a guard. I fast forward this just a little bit so it just didn't take forever. There's Anthony Jefferson, a QB. Jonathan Alexander, a tackle. Chip Wade, a center. TJ Phillips, guard. As you see, I went a lot of offensive line here. Josh Franklin, tackle. Not anybody too good, but you can stop and pause on their stats if you want to see them. But Jeff Ross is the very intriguing one. 86 throw power, 83 throw accuracy. I'm really looking to see how well he develops because Ryan Willis is a senior this year, and we'll have to see how well he fares continuing to go on because he was not very consistent, especially at the beginning of the year was Ryan Willis, but right now he is the starter for next year. But there's a couple of guys. I went after a few JUCOs this year because I'm just trying to make the team better. I don't need freshmen coming on right away and playing as true freshmen and needing to develop. I need some guys that are ready to go right when they get here. Landon Blankenship, a 78 overall corner, would be just that. He'd be right behind on the other side with Ian Peterson. Aaron Gold's a QB. He's not one of the huge concerns, but he can run and throw the ball. He is just a little bit better than Ross. Gold can run it. Ross is more of a pocket passer. And then here's Rob Gray, another JUCO. He's 77 overall, and I really need to get him. I got a big lead on him. I recruited him heavy during the regular season because I knew I was losing a couple of linebackers, so I needed him back. Here's Nick Williams, trying to go after him, but Kansas State is right there in the running with me. William Brock, we have a 50. We're down 50 points Western Michigan, but he's not a huge concern for me. Jason Coley, I put a few into. Brian Robinson, a few into. Terrell McDougall, I'm not even sure how you pronounce his name. I put a few into him. Down 480 on him, but I do have quite a few guards already in the recruiting class. And then Stephen Barnett, I kind of really wanted to get here, but TCU has the lead on me. I'm not quite sure how heavy they're going to go into him. But Rob Gray and Landon Blankenship, those are the top 2 dudes I have to get from this recruiting class. I need those guys on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I'm not doing too bad. I need to replace a couple of spots in the offensive line, but I do have some good wide receivers. I got a good QB and a great running back trio, actually, as you'll see their ratings after the training results. But I do need the defense very, very badly. And you see, advancing this signing day, I get Landon Blankenship, Rob Gray, and Nick Williams, but I only got 3 people out of all of that. So I did get the top guys I needed. Landon Blankenship, 78 overall. You'll see Aaron Gold just decided not to play football in college, I guess. Stephen Barnett, TCU went heavy into him, and they got him. Terrell McDougall, Florida State went in. I can't compete against them. Brian Robinson, Air Force apparently just unloaded everything and got him. Jason Coley, same with Miami of Ohio. I don't even know how I was so far back on him. And then William Brock went to Minnesota. I lost by 1,000 on him. And a couple of those dudes I'm not too worried about. But then Nick Williams, we got him away from Kansas State. And then I got Rob Gray by a bunch. And then also Landon Blankenship. Those 2 I'm really, really high about. You guys will hear a lot about them in the next year. Rob Gray and Landon Blankenship. Remember those names because we're going to need them big time. And the recruiting class was decent this year. I would have liked them better, especially a well-known name recruit. But we had 87th top class, 12 3-stars, 3 2-stars, and 2 1-stars. But Landon Blankenship is the big name as well as Rob Gray. But I really wanted that really solid guy that I was like, wow, this is a great get. I mean, Blankenship and Gray are good gets, but they're not someone that just stands out to me, and especially because they're both JUCO, so I don't have 4 years with them. But you see Ryan Willis, he progressed very well for me, and then you see the halfbacks, more of a duo, but you can count a trio with Herbert in there, but Shadler goes up big time, as well did Martin, so hopefully we can get a very strong running game this year. and not rely on the read option so heavily as we have in the past. But if that's how it comes down to, if that's how we got to win ball games, you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do to win. But Shadler up to a 90 overall. That is very nice. 93 speed. He should be nice. Dusty Kennedy, he got a few carries this year. He's up to a 69. And then Chase Harrell, 85. Tyler Patrick, 83. Moore, 83. And Fairs, an 80. So I got 4 receivers in the 80s. That is exactly what I needed because I do play quite a bit of 4 receiver formations. So that was very nice. And then the others, they're all right, but they're not going to get a bunch of playing time because if I needed a 5th guy, I'd probably go with Sternberger in there anyhow, as you'll see Sternberger here in just a second as we get the tight ends. He is a beast. Tyler Patrick was great for me last year. I'm really excited to keep going with him as well as Chase Harrell, but I did lose Steven Sims Jr. and I lost Dalen Charlotte, so there's going to be a few people that need to produce big time for me. Otherwise, I'm not going to fare well in the passing game. But here is Jay Sternberger, 90 overall heading into his senior year. But Ryan Rennick isn't too shabby either. I need to do some more twin tight end sets this year. But I do run a spread offense, so it's tough to do that. But I definitely need to work that in. And then Bo Lawrence, he goes up to an 82. So left tackle at an 82 overall. Cam Durley, he replaces the left guards that left, and then you see Bragg, our number 1 player, Jacob Bragg, he's a 91 overall. I wonder if he'll get drafted next year. I do not have a drafted player yet, I don't believe. And then right tackle is kind of a concern, but we'll see that later. Then Ehamby goes up to an 84, so we replaced Dorrance Armstrong Jr. very well. And same with Isaiah Bean, he's up to an 81, so I replaced them well. And then Wise and Latreon Jones, they go up to 88 and 84, so I replaced the defensive line very, very well for what I expected. And then you see Lineker Jr. goes up to an 81. The middle linebacker is where we have our trouble as Mike Thomas goes up to a 77. But you saw middle linebacker is going to be tough, but we'll keep going. I'll explain that later. Ian Peterson's an 88 overall. Ford's a 77. Motley is 77. And Smith is 77. Myrick is 75. But Landon Blankenship, that guarantees he will be on the other side of Ian Peterson as Blankenship's already a 78 overall. And Ford or Motley are both 77, so one of them will have the nickel corner spot, and the other one will play on random formations. We'll have to see when they get it. And we're going to head to the safety position here in a minute. I'm excited for the Peterson and Blankenship duo that we are going to have. As you see, Ian Peterson's a beast. He's a hard hitter, but can cover. He is at an 88 overall now. Free safety, Tyrone Miller Jr. heading into his senior year, an 89 overall. He progressed very well. And then Alex Manning, he does not progress as well as I figured from an All-American for back-to-back years. Heading into his junior year, he's only an 81 overall, but the way he plays on the field, you see his name constantly. You wouldn't look at him and be like, 81 overall, he's definitely not going to make plays for you, but when you watch the videos and you watch the gameplay, he makes plays after plays after plays. He's always at the ball, and he's always making plays for me out there. I feel bad for Tony Gray because he's a pretty good player, but he's not getting any snaps because he's behind an All-American who played right away as a true freshman. But there's David Rodone. He goes up, and Lynn, now Stanley, he goes up to an 85. But that will take us into the cut players. But I'm going to talk about the defensive position. I replaced the defensive line very well. I thought that was going to be something that was going to really hurt me and hold me back. But instead, I replaced them very well. Players progress really well. But then Rob Gray, I recruited him as an outside linebacker as a JUCO, but I moved him to middle linebacker. I was not about to start a 71 overall guy at middle linebacker who is replacing Hudson Hall. Instead, Rob Gray took a -1 overall hit, but I think that was the right choice. I want to see Rob Gray at the middle linebacker position anyway. I want him to make multiple plays for me, and that's what I did there. As Blankenship's going to get the second corner spot, and that is where the recruits do fit in. You see our schedule for next year: California, Ohio, Army, and then the usual Big 12 schedule. And you'll see the depth chart here before we close out the video. I'm looking for a very solid year. I think my offense is very good, but I think my defense is very young and is going to have to... My safeties are very good. Safety spot is where I'm not too worried about, but the linebacker position... It is going to be a big question mark. It's really going to depend on the linebackers, how well they play this year, if I'm going to win 8 ball games like I hope so and win a bowl game for once. We'll have to see how they fare. But like I said, let me know in the comment section because right here I can create prospects for you guys. But if you would rather me start a new one, I can just definitely do that in the next Dynasty, and I'll do it right from the start as you guys have requested. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. And as always, I'm out. Peace.